Hey y'all, and welcome back. I'm Ashley, and thanks for joining me for my June reading wrap up. I don't know why that is a tongue twister for me to say, but anyway, here we are. I cannot believe that we are finished with June. It feels like the month just flew by. I'm not sure if that is like the sleeplessness or whatnot, but in any case, I'm going to try to rapid fire through the books that I read just because little man is napping and I want to try to get this video recorded before he wakes up from his nap. So let's go ahead and go. Half of these books I borrowed from the library, so I will just place a picture up here so you can see what I am talking about. And that is the case for the first one. The first book that I read in June is called A Murder in Time. I gave it 4.5 stars. A quick little description of this is it is Bridgerton meets Outlander meets Criminal Minds. So an FBI agent who is a criminal profiler gets transported back through time, so that's the Outlander bit, and she ends up at a duke's estate and they're having a huge like ball, like a country ball type of thing, which kind of reminded me of Bridgerton. And so while she's there, they find a body and it ends up being like a serial killer, but of course they don't call them serial killers. And so I really enjoyed it. She had to go through and like figure out who did it, that type of thing. So it was really fun. If you want to hear more about that one, I will link a reading vlog that I did. A lot of these books are in that reading vlog, so that's why I'm not like going through them really in depth, but it was pretty good. I would definitely recommend it if you were into those type of things, especially like the time travel. That is what interested me the most. Plus I love like mysteries of like whodunit type of reading. The next book that I read was An Offer from a Gentleman, the next book in the Bridgerton series, and this is book 3. This one I rated a 5-star. Of course, this was honestly my favorite Bridgerton book thus far. I absolutely loved Benedict's story. It was like a Cinderella story starting with a masquerade ball. So I absolutely loved this. Like I said, it was my favorite and I cannot wait for Benedict's season in the Netflix series. My next book is Summer Reading. This is a super cute, beachy, and bookish book. The main male character works in the library and the female character is a chef, and so they meet on the ferry and they end up spending the summer together, which it was just a super cute read. The one thing that really like piqued my interest about this book was the female main character has dyslexia, so it was very interesting to learn more about that for me. I rated this book 4 stars and I would recommend it if you were looking for a fun, beachy summer read. The next book, also I rented from the library, is A Funny Story, and I'm sure you have heard all about this. It is a fake dating book, again with bookish characters. The female main character works in the library, and I think there was actually a mention of the main male character actually having dyslexia too, but it was just kind of like brushed by. But I just thought it was funny that we get that and the opposite of summer reading. But in any case, I have a slightly different opinion. I don't think Emily Henry is my author. I always find her books less than the hype. So, you know, it's a very hyped up book. I didn't find it worth the hype. Again, if you want to hear more about it, you can watch it in my reading vlog, which is linked. The next book is Smile Beach Murder. This is a cozy mystery that takes place in the Outer Banks. It is a fun one where, again, it is very bookish. Apparently bookish was my theme for June because almost all of the books that I've read, the characters are very bookish. So this one was a fun one. I didn't expect the ending. I thought it was going to be somebody else who did the murdering. So it was a really fun ride for me, and I rated this one 4 stars. So we had to pause for a second and go get little man. He woke up from his nap, so I am rocking him, trying to get him to go back to sleep. But the next book that I read was A Twist in Time. This is the second book in the series for the A Murder in Time. In this one, I found the female main character a little bit more annoying. She's been back there for a month now, and she just does not want to conform to society. And I understand females have a lot more freedom today than they did back then, but it just comes at a great cost. And so I ended up rating that one a 3.5, where before I rated it much higher, like 4.5. So it's still a good series. I would still recommend it, but the second book she kind of got on my nerves. I will continue with the third book, but probably give it a little time. I won't read any more of that in July. I don't think. We'll see. The next book was a buddy read for me. I read it with two of my friends, and that is The Only Survivors. And this one was really good. I rated it 4.5 stars. It is about a group of kids who went to high school together. They get in a really bad accident, and then every year since, they get together, or after I think the first anniversary, they get together on the date of this accident. It's a real mystery of like, you're figuring out what happened. You don't really exactly know what the accident is, and you're figuring out like why some of the survivors have died. And so it's just really interesting. It's really good, like mystery thriller. I really liked it. Like I said, I rated it 4.5 stars. The next book is The Invisible Life of Addy Laroo. I borrowed from the library, so I've already returned it, but it was a good book. I am still thinking about it today. So in this book, Addy Laroo is born in like 1691, I think is the year, and she, through extenuating circumstances, ends up praying to the gods that come out after night or after dark, and her request is to have freedom and to be able to like, it ends up that she like lives forever, like she can't die. But the catch is that she is forgettable. Anybody that like leaves her presence, that like goes away, forgets her, until one day she meets a guy that does not forget her. And so it was just a really interesting book about life and like kind of the meaning of life, like a name. It was just a really interesting book, and I still think about it today. I gave this book a 4.5 stars. And the last book that I read for June is The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. This one I gave a 4.5 star as well. Apparently I really liked 4.5 stars books this month. So for this one, it takes place in Australia. A family moves to a popular suicide spot. It's a cliff, kind of like what's depicted in the picture here. And so the husband has kind of become the suicide whisperer, saving many people's lives by like talking them off the ledge, except for one woman who comes there and ends up jumping or like going off the ledge. And it kind of starts there. It is the story of two families, of how they are interconnected, and like good, I wouldn't exactly call it like a mystery. I don't know. It's just more of a suspense, I guess. Yeah, that's what the library has it. It's a very suspenseful book. So it's very, very interesting. I really did not expect the ending. It was very, I did not see that coming. So it was definitely a good one. If you like the suspenseful books, I would definitely recommend this. I have another Sally Hepworth book on my shelf, and I can't wait to get to it now, especially now knowing her writing. I am so excited for that book. Those are the 9 books that I ended up reading this month. Let me know how you did for your reading, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.